the data is accurate. I don't know if we can actually ascribe something to the data.
I'm also an epistemological skeptic. I just think that's what the relativist position is that basically we just accept it to be true because that is what we perceive, and whether or not it's like true objective, which is what we talked about beforehand, is like up for debate. And I don't really to me, I don't think it's possible for us to know if something's truly objective, which is where we decided literally like yesterday that we were okay, that's not a topic for us.
Hold on, you defined objectivity as something that was arbitrary in terms of minds, and I had to leave mid conversation. So what were you saying about objectivity?
Yeah, what we discussed yesterday was that true objectivity versus relative objectivity. So relative objectivity means me and you experience the same things, and because of how we perceive if we exist, then we just act as if we exist. It's kind of like the wager of reality. Then true objective status is basically unarguably existent, and it's basically like a principal truth. It's like a truth that is true.
Yeah, so you're saying that this thing is literally a fact, right?
Yeah, those type of objects, I don't think we can, if they were to exist, we can't perceive them.
If they were, we can definitely debate that, but I still do think we're kind of confused on what we're talking about. So by fact, I just mean literally something that has correspondence with reality. You're disagreeing with that, correct? Or you agree with that?
No, that doesn't disagree with my position.
Okay.
We could say that reality is just what we perceive and what we
I disagree with that.
Yeah, fine. What do you think reality is?
I believe reality is what is there. So it can be what we perceive. It's basically just what is there. Simple as that.
Yeah, so it's but how do you know what is there? That's the
other one. So we can get it. Yeah, we can get into that topic then.
I'm not sure we actually disagree though. That's the problem.
I mean, you're questioning how do I know what is there, and you're saying that by your definition of reality, which is what we see, which I'm disagreeing with. I'm going to argue for what is there without our sensory perception or anything like that.
I mean, okay, sure. I guess we can do that topic then.
Okay, that's sure. Fine. Shaggy, can you get up here? Are you there?
Is even alive?
I don't think so, but we'll get him to judge according.
Give me just a second.
Okay. Yeah. So basically,
so what topic is talking about?
Yeah, I'll say it for the recording. As the introduction is me versus Hunter. The judges are theoretical, toxic, and Shaggy. The topic will be whether or not we can determine objectivity being, or true objectivity at least, true objectivity being something which is a fact, and a fact being defined as something that is correspondent with reality. My personal opinion of what reality is what is there, or what there is.
Yeah, shorten it down so I can write it down.
Okay, basically the position is if objective status can be known.
Okay.
I guess that's a really short way.
Not a short reality is what there is, Shaggy.
Okay. All right, I got it written down. You guys can start.
Okay, perfect. So, would you like me to give my opening statement, Hunter?
Do you think we require opening statements? Because we kind of
my opening statement. No. By opening statement, I just mean the argument I'm going to open up with, which you'll obviously continue.
Okay, sure. I guess.
Yeah, so I would like to open up with the fact that, do you believe likelihood exists?
What do you mean by that?
Well, what do you view likelihood to be? Since I understand that you're well versed in those types.
Do you mean likelihood is in the probability of something?
Yes, sure.
Sure. I know. I agree to what likelihood is to.
Okay, then you just conceded. Yeah. So if you were to posit that likelihood exists, as in you're ontologically committed to that, that means you posit the fact that it's definitively likely. If it's definitively likely, that means that this thing is a fact. Ergo, corresponds to reality.
I didn't agree that. I don't agree that something being me agreeing to an ontological status via our perception means that that thing is truthfully there. It's just we are perceiving it in this way. How do you know what? How do we know what likelihood is in the first place? That's what I would call into question.
Yeah. So one, you just conceded again because your perception would be. Hold on, I'll explain why, Hunter. Do not cut me off. I gave you charity to speak. Anyways.
Sure.
So, one, you said that we know likelihood is there intuitively or via our sensory experience, which you just ontologically committed to your sensory experience. Two, once again, Hunter, If you were to say that likelihood exists intuitively, that would be you warranting the fact that your intuition exists. Or if I were to grant the fact that it's not likelihood, but instead it's a possibility, it's impossibility, etc., all these things by virtue of process of elimination would justify the fact that there is some type of fact within reality.
Yeah, the problem is that the thing that's being called into question, which is if reality as we perceive it is objectively real, is still under question, regardless of that.
Yeah, what you just said doesn't actually address what I said, because you're saying what's called into question is whether or not what we perceive is actually what's there. However, all I define reality as is what is there. I define existence.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me finish. What there is. I define existence as what there is what exists, by the way. I define existence as to be a value of a variable. If that is the case, then any form of communication or speaking, like for example, a word, which is hunter, that doesn't need a reference point within quote unquote physical or concrete existences, but instead that can be a conceptual idea which would exist within reality by my definition.
Okay, cool. I can just not agree to that.
Would not agree to what?
That your defining point. It doesn't matter. I don't care. That's
My
not what I
what?
agree reality.
Wait, my
That's
what?
I
My
don't
what?
agree
My
to
what?
your. If you're gonna cut me off, am I not allowed to
No,
cut
no,
you off?
I
You're
was
allowed to cut
asking
me
you,
off.
I was asking what you said, Hunter. I didn't hear you.
Okay, if I'm gonna repeat myself for the third time, I don't think that actually addresses my point about how we perceive, and nor do I have to agree to that definition of reality.
You don't, okay. And once again, my opening as to what I believe reality was X. You agreed to go under this debate going by
I did
definition
not.
X.
I did
Yes, you
not.
did. I literally
No, I
said,
didn't.
hold on, let
No,
me
I
finish,
didn't.
Hunter, let me finish. You
I
don't
did
want
not
to.
agree to that
Anyways,
definition. You're cutting.
Hunter, you cut me off. I was not done speaking. I allowed you to
Sure,
finish.
go ahead. Go ahead. Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. So I define reality as X. I said under your definition, sure, I understand you don't disagree with my position. However, under my definition, do you disagree with my position? You said yes. We started the debate. So within the debate
No.
parameters, I propose this thing. If you're disagreeing, I just
No.
gave an argument for
I
it.
never agreed to it. I never agreed to it.
You never agreed to what?
I never agreed to that definition. I
Yeah, I
never
mean, it doesn't
agreed to that.
matter. I can give an argument for why the definition is the case. Like, you
Okay,
can't give an
sure,
argument for why
but
your definition is the case. Like, what the fuck?
what do you mean I can't give an argument?
There is no argument that you can use as to justify for your definition being over mine or anything along those lines, Hunter.
Why? Why?
Because you have yet to give it, and I believe that you cannot give it because it's impossible. I don't believe that position can be justifiable.
Why?
It's the belief I have. I don't need to justify the belief claim.
Why do you not have to justify the belief?
Because a belief claim is not the same thing as an assertion. But once again, this is irrelevant. So reality is what there is. What there is what exists. I define existence as the value of a variable. Therefore, language can be things that exist without a physical reference point.
Wait. Pause first. Infinity. Like, sorry for posting this, but can you repeat what you said? Because I need to write it down.
Yeah, I said reality is what there is. What there is what exists. Existence is to be a value of a variable. Therefore, the domain of discourse doesn't have to be limited to physical things.
All right.
Okay. Hunter, respond to what I said.
Sure. So I can just posit reality to be what we are perceiving. What is the error there? Why is your definition more powerful than mine?
Yeah, the problem is the reason why it will be quote unquote more powerful than yours is because your definition is not mutually exclusive to mine. If you're positing reality to be what is or what we perceive, I'm saying that perception will be something that is there, which you are positing by virtue of your definition. Is that if that is the case, that will be a justifier for my position, which is whether we can determine objectivity.
Okay, but I don't agree to what you mean by objectivity, which I described earlier. Like that to me, okay. I already said earlier that I didn't agree to that definition of objectivity. Like I already said earlier, no, don't cut me off.
You said you didn't.
We're not going to do this. 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 Let me
I can do what I want, nigga. Fuck. Go ahead. I'm going to speak. Fuck.
Okay. What I said earlier is when you had first said before the preamble, before we even entered any amount of discourse, you had said that you defined objectivity as a fact. And I said that would be what we could call something relatively objective, which means that we can agree because of what we perceive that thing is objective. That has nothing to do with anything that I was going to present.
That's not what I said at all. What you just
Okay,
said
then
is
we can end
actually
here. We're done.
non-sequitur. Hold on.
We're done.
Anyways.
We're done.
Hold
We're
on,
done.
hold
We're
on.
done.
I'll
No,
explain
we're
it.
done. I'm done. No, I'm done.
I'm
There's
trying
no
to explain.
explanations. This
I'm
is done. We're
trying to
done.
explain
We are
how you
done.
did a
We are
versus.
done.
Shut up.
We are
I'm
done.
trying to
We are
explain how
done.
you did a
We are
versus.
done.
I'm
We are
trying to
done.
explain how
We
you
are
did a
done.
retweet.
We are
Oh my
done.
God! Shut up!
We are
Shut up!
done.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
No,
Shut up!
we
Shut
are
up!
done.
I want
We are
moderation.
done.
I want moderation. Who do you want to moderate?
Conclusions. I'm done.
I'm not. Wait. I'm okay. I'm just gonna talk over you there. Anyways, so back to what I was saying.
Okay, bye.
If you actually listen. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna place for the recording and for the judge. If you actually listen within his definition.
No.
Hold on, Shaggy. No, because he just gave an argument. I'm not letting him leave like he did Reaper when he got bitched out of VC and then he just wanted to claim that he won because no argument was gave. So the argument in response to what he just said was, I'm not saying, or what's in contention is not whether the fact is actualized, because he's saying, well, I believe a fact to be what we perceive. That's a relative fact. I'm saying that, well, by your definition, I don't care if it's what you perceive, but instead you are using, what you perceive, but instead you are using your sensory data. You're positing that exists. You're having an ontological commitment to your sensory data. If that is the case, then by both my definition and your definition of a fact, that would be justification of my position. I'm not saying what you see and what the consensus on what you see is a fact or not. I don't care about that. I'm saying what you are using to see this thing was which is your methodology, and I'm saying your methodology would be a concession on your position. So, anyways, GG's.
Oh, and Infinity. To shorten like what he said, as I've written down. So Infinity asks the question, "Do you believe likelihood exists?" Hunter asks the question, "The probability of something." Infinity agrees, and Hunter then agrees to that said thing. Infinity then says Hunter disagreed because of this thing being definitively likely. Infinity, correct me if I'm wrong.
Wait, what? Disagree with what?
You're saying that what's the name? I'm saying that you said Hunter conceded because he agreed with this thing being definitively likely via the probability.
If he's saying that this thing is likely, that's him conceding to the fact that this thing is definitively likely.
Exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's all I've written down. So and Hunter left the VC. So by virtue of discourse, Hunter would lose.
Okay.
So,
and who lost argumentatively?
Well, I'd say Hunter.
Yeah, okay. So I got judgment, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yo,
so
this is bias. Oh nah. Yo,
there's
everyone